The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. Once upon a time there was a little girl. When she was born, her mother held her in her arms, looked at her and told her, "You are so ugly." She grew up. She was molested, abused, discriminated against by society, and hated by the very people who were supposed to love her. At some point, so distraught and out of touch with reality, she wanted to have blue eyes to adjust to what society expected women to look like. She wanted to have a different shape of face, a different shape of her nose, different hair. And she grew up with a mother who didn't accept being black, who tried to change her features, who tried to change her hair, not to look different and beautiful in any way or have fun with her look. She wanted to change her look to look more like the white women who were on a silver screen, the white women who were in magazines. Growing up with such a mother, Pecola didn't have a role model telling her, "You are beautiful just as you are." In The Bluest Eye, one of the most important, at least to me, I'm not going to say in general terms, but as a person of color reading this, it is very important. This chapter is really important. I'm trying to find it so that I can read a little bit from it. It is a chapter called Spring. The chapters are divided in a very peculiar way. Toni Morrison has done this in many of her books. Some of her books, the chapters are never, I'm not going to say never. Let me rephrase that. Her chapters are sometimes named after something, somebody. Maybe they're numbered, but there's always, when there is a name, for example, in the book Love, the different titles, benefactor, father, husband, friend, stranger, it makes you think about the symbolism behind them. At any rate, the first twigs are thin, green, and supple. They bend into a complete circle, but will not break. Their delicate, showy hopefulness, shooting from forsythia and lilac bushes, meant only a change in whipping style. They bear as differently in the spring. They beat as differently in the spring. Instead of the dull pain of a winter strap, there were these new green switches that lost their sting long after the whipping was over. There was a nervous meanness in these long twigs that made us long for the steady stroke of a strap or the firm but honest slap of a hairbrush. They're talking about corporal punishment, something that was really, really common years and years ago in the United States, which is still very common in certain parts of the world, and it is illegal in many countries and definitely illegal in Norway. Corporal punishment, but it's put in a very poetic way. This abuse that the children suffered, the corporal punishment. I wish that I didn't have the background noise, but my daughter is in the living room and she's a little bit annoyed by something, so maybe this is going to be a short video. But The Bluest Eye is one of the most beautiful books I have ever read, and I'm going to perhaps make these videos early in the morning when nobody's awake.